The rest of the plan is simple. I fly to the moon. I shrink the moon. I grab the moon. I sit on the toilet. What?
The Despicable Me trilogy is a trilogy of amazing movies done by Illumination. And the first Despicable Me started this company of Universal. And it was an interesting experiment done by Universal to see what a new animation studio would produce. And it produced one of the most funny and influential movies in years. The Minions, in of itself, are basically everywhere now. It's like Illumination and Universal's version of like Mickey Mouse. It's so popular that it is beyond crazy. If someone doesn't know what a Minion is, they're crazy. So, in my eyes, the first Despicable Me is the best of all three, and that's probably because it's about the first one. But it's about Gru, this ultra supervillain who finds out that someone steals the Great Pyramid and realizes that it wasn't him, and so he proposes a backup plan of grabbing a shrink ray and stealing the moon. It results in him adopting some girls to help him in his plans, and trying to defeat this villain called Vector. And the whole movie is funny. It's also a little bit emotional at times. But it is one that I still look back on as one of my favorite movies of all time. And so it's still like that to this day. The second one is an interesting one, because now Gru is a good guy now instead of a villain, and he's trying to be the best father he can to his girls. And that's when a new villain emerges named El Macho, and he's basically taken something that's a serum that can make something like all big, mutant, and gross, and angry. And so basically the Anti-Villain League, or the AVL, now has to recruit Gru to try to save the day. And it's interesting because in this particular movie, not only is it like a Gru spy movie, but it's also like Gru falling in love and getting a wife. And that was an interesting decision to do that. And I will admit, it got worse from there. See, the third movie is where they're like, okay, for the first movie, he was a villain. The second movie, he was not a villain anymore, he was a spy, and there was a lot of hate out there because of that. So in the third movie, we're going to introduce his twin brother, who's also played by Steve Carell, and we're going to have him be a villain and try to get Gru to go back to villainy. And it's an interesting story. It's by far the weakest of the three, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's pretty good, actually. It's funny still, and I enjoy it, but doesn't mean it's the best one. So, in my eyes, overall, Despicable Me 1 is sort of definitely a 10 out of 10. The second one is more of a 9.5 out of 10, and the third one is more of an 8 out of 10. At least in my eyes, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching, everybody. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and hit that bell. Thank you guys so much again. Stay tuned for my other reviews, everybody. See ya. Bye.